Hey there, I'm Curly, and welcome to Unfiltered and Undiscovered, the podcast where three music lifers dig into the songs, the stories, and the legends of music that may not have crossed your radar yet. But if you're new here, let me set the scene. I'm the punter, the guy who swears that the best music, the best Australian independent music, was in 1986. I've got the record collection to prove it. Now, joining me each week, I've got Braggy. He's a lifelong muso, a dreamer that's still waiting for that one song of his to go viral. He knows his stuff and he loves digging into lyrics. And of course, we've got Rossi, the roadie, the manager, and the guy with a story about every band that's ever plugged into a pub PA system anywhere from Perth to Parramatta. Together, we get unfiltered with the best undiscovered artists across Australia and occasionally the world. And occasionally, we also talk a whole lot of rubbish around artists that we already love. Let's get into it.
Hey y'all, I'm Alison Asarch from Nashville, Tennessee.
Hey, I'm Sean Fraser from the Ritzy Kids Hunters.
This is Johnny from Rail Motor.
Hey, it's Shane from Blind Season.
Hey, it's Rob Stanier, and you can check out my music on all the streaming platforms.
Check out my latest music on all the streaming sites.
Check out my debut album on all streaming platforms.
Check out our new debut album.
Check us out on Spotify and Apple Music. And you're listening to our friends, Braggy and Curly.
My favorite bands from Australia.
You're listening to our friends, Braggy, Rossi, and Curly
on the
Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast.
Hey there, everyone. It's Curly here, and welcome to episode 236 of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. We are three old blokes with one obsession, and that's music that matters. Unfiltered chats, undiscovered artists. Every week on the pod, we're talking guitars, grit, and the good stuff that you're not going to hear on mainstream radio. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and wherever you're listening, please like and subscribe and share it with a friend who needs some new music in their life. Let me just welcome in first up our co-hosts. Of course, we've got Braggy from Adelaide and we got Rossi from Sydney. A really interesting week in the footy tipping, boys. The NRL was dominated by the females. We had Kat that played her got a perfect round. And we had Katie Brooke, who played her joker. So first and second for the week. So well done, ladies. And then in the AFL, I think Braggy's had a rip snorter. Rossi, he tipped incredibly. I think he only missed one.
I've got to chase down Moose.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he just snuck that in there, Moose. That was very good of him.
It was awesome. It was very good.
So just to bring everyone up to date on the three of us and where we are combined, Braggy's on 130, Rossi's on 127, and I'm on 118. So I'm still 9 behind, but Braggy sort of kicked away a little bit, Rossi. So
yeah, he does that.
He put some points.
We both of us still got a joker to play, I think.
I know.
Yeah, you do. It'll be very, very interesting. And of course, we've got State of Origin coming up, and our special guest tonight, Dingo, just told us he goes for Victoria in that particular game. So without any further ado, let's welcome in. We've got Dingo, who's an Australian singer-songwriter, record producer, mostly known for his unique blended guitar playing styles in Kasey Chambers' band, as well as being the lead singer and guitar player for the 2015. You must have been like 12, Dingo.
6 at the time. He was 6.
Yeah, Byron Bay Bluesfest, busking competition, Grizzlee Train. So welcome to the show. Dingo, how are you?
Oh, I'm going great. How are you guys? This is like fun. You do this, every week?
Every week. Every week we sit and have a chat. These boys, Rossi doesn't drink, but I'll have a little beer or something while we do it. Dingo, I always like to start off. I get the first question. I always like to find out, just for the listeners and some of the viewers, if they watch us on YouTube, how you got to this point. I want to know the history, like when music first became a thing, because I find that gives me a much better idea when I listen to your music of how it came to be. So can you let us know when music was first a thing for you, and you went, "Shit, that's what I want to do."
Yeah. Well, it's been a bit of a journey for me. When I was really young, I mean, I wasn't one of these people that just picked up a guitar when they were 5 and started playing. I always loved music. It was always around me, and my folks always loved music and were always playing music, but nobody in my family was musical. Nobody played an instrument at all. My dad, actually, he was a left-handed guitar player, but he was also a butcher at the same time, and he had a butchering accident that meant that he couldn't play guitar left-handed anymore because his right hand, the tops of his fingers got chopped off, and he had to switch and learn how to play right-handed. So he had quite a frustrating sort of journey with it. But it was for that reason that we had a right-handed guitar in the house. And that's the guitar that I picked up when I was about 13. And I just remember when I was a kid, I used to listen to the radio all the time, coming home from soccer training or whatever, and for some reason lyrics just stuck in my head. I just knew every song possible. So when I started playing, it was the same thing. I had this musical memory that just kind of stuck with me. And but I like I said, I picked the guitar up when I was about 13 years old, and then I've been playing sort of professionally, playing gigs since about 15 or 16, and like you said, I had that band Grizzlee Train from high school, and that was just 2 of us. That was just the 2 of us who were just playing. He was a drummer and I was a guitar player, and we just, as soon as we could, we started busking in the streets every weekend, and that slowly became gigs, and we then turned 18. We could play in pubs, and when we turned 19, that was actually when I met Kasey Chambers. Josh and I were playing a gig on the Central Coast, and it was actually funny. We were playing at a festival, and we were on outside in the beer garden at the same time that the main festival headline act was on inside. And so there was no one watching us. Well, we didn't care. We were just, there was one table of people, that were about 4 people at this table, and one of them was Kasey Chambers, and they all stayed till the end of the set, which was really nice. And yeah, from then, basically, I didn't know she was looking for a band at the time, and she basically asked us to join the band after that, and that was roughly 2014, 2015. So so then since then I've been playing country music in Kasey's band ever since. So it's been over 10 years of doing that. And yeah, I think that's been the evolution of music for me. It's sort of, ever since I picked up a guitar, it feels like I haven't stopped playing.
Was it always country, Dingo? Was that what you were listening to at home? Was it always country, or?
It's funny, because my whole life is basically built on a lie. I'm like George Costanza. I feel like I basically, I haven't listened to any country music when I was a kid. I never listened to country music. It was always blues for me. When I was a guitar player, really just first learning, my favorite guitar player is Stevie Ray Vaughan. I just love his playing, and I always got way into the blues. And that's what Josh and I used to play in Grizzlee Train. We were blues and rock and all that kind of stuff. So when Case came up, she came up straight after the gig, and she said, "Oh, that was great. That was a great set." And I'm like, "Oh, thanks very much." And she said, "Do you play any country music?" And I went, "Yep."
Good answer.
Well, I love it. I love country music. It's great. No, but it's I think I actually say that, but I also, my mum's favorite band was the Rolling Stones, and I used to listen to so many Stones records when I was first learning how to play, and now going back and listening to those same records, you hear the country influence so
massively.
Yeah. And
there's
I think
not a big difference between country and blues at all.
Yeah, I think there's subtle differences that that I've been sort of like. I find that country music is, for me, that was a pretty hard thing to pick up, because the playing style is so different, and you have to follow chords so much. I feel like country and jazz almost feel similar in a way like that, whereas
isn't there that analogy that if a truck full of country musicians ran into a truck full of blues players, you'd end up with a truck full of rock and roll guys?
Yeah,
I'd probably say that's right. But I mean, listening to your stuff, Dingo, especially like some of your older stuff, I listened to the album you had out in 2024. That's really kind of swampy. A lot of tracks on that. So it's not your normal 3-chord country that you play. I don't feel.
Yeah, I guess, when it comes to it now, especially, and on this album that I've got coming out this year too, I've been leaning a lot further into songwriting, rather than, I guess, throughout me having a career as a musician, I've always been a guitar player first. And I love that. I love playing guitar, and I love playing guitar for other people. And it's a lot of what I do in production in the studio too, is I get to play guitar on people's songs. But, for me, as the next chapter of things moving forward, it's really about the songs and telling stories for me. That's what I'm really enjoying at the moment.
I was listening to some guys talking the other day, and they're saying that, if you think your career's, not going where it needs to be, go spend more time writing songs.
Yeah. Well, it's almost it's not lost, but it's an art in itself that, I think a lot of songwriters these days, you can get caught up in the quick formulas of things and sort of like, how songs generally seem to be going at the moment. But that real thing of digging deep into your own self and what's going on for you, and then writing from that place, there's not a lot of artists that sort of are really, really digging that deep all the time, I don't think. And it's a hard thing to do too, because you've got to get sort of into a vulnerable place to do it. And that's what I've been trying to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to be honest. And when someone asks you if you've listened to country music,
listening to your playing, like the guitar playing I heard on the single and the stuff, there's some really clean playing in what you do too, though. Okay, like it's like some people fudge. I don't think you're fudging.
Thanks.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's true.
He's honest, isn't he?
I feel like I've got like so when I first started playing in a band, I guess I was playing as the only melodic instrument within the band. There was a drummer and there was me. So I worked for a long time on trying to get a sound that was full enough to cover. And so did he. So he was amazing at covering so many bases just with a drum kit. And he used to play harmonica at the same time and all of this stuff. And then I was trying on the other end to try and cover so many bases. But it meant that my guitar playing was very different to a clinical, clean style of guitar playing. And then when I joined Kasey's band, I just honestly, I felt like a fish out of water. I didn't know how to play guitar in a band with other guitar players. And I've learned so much from her dad, Bill Chambers, he showed me so much of what it means to play in a band and how to play in that way. That's a bit more clinical, and sort of, then I've spent a lot of time trying to combine those two worlds together. And I think that's become sort of my style of playing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess because you've gone from like a duo where you're trying to cover, like you said, you're trying to cover the
heavy lifting,
fill up the whole sound. And as soon as you play in a band, you've got to start listening to what everybody else is playing and find your little spot that adds to the song but doesn't hurt anybody else. But just onto your latest one that's out, Autumn, and I've listened to these latest three. The thing that I noticed, and Rossi, I don't know, you probably listened to it as well, Rossi, obviously. It's really up front, like the drums. On this Autumn, I can hear the freaking snare wire rattle on that, and I'm guessing you played most of that that's kind of live. There's not a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Is that a pretty early take? It just feels like that to me.
Yeah, this song was the first song that we recorded as the collection of songs for the album. So when we first got into the studio, we recorded it at my studio that I have with Case at home. So we run a studio together, and so I had a producer come in and work on this album. His name is Jordan Power, and he's incredible. But yeah, we did set up completely live, and Autumn was the first song that we attempted. I had Sid Green playing the drums, and he's one of my favorite drummers ever. I work
the
with
rock drumming Sid Green.
Yeah.
He was in Mantissa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Killing Time before that. Yeah. I know Jed and a number of those guys, right?
Awesome. Yeah. So
Good
Sid and I play together a lot, and he plays in Case's band now as well.
Is that where he ended up? Fair dinkum, because you think about that, the way he played before, he was a beast. An utter beast.
Still is.
Yeah,
he's fantastic.
I think Braggie's right. There's a certain intimacy in the way that first song sort of comes at you. Yeah. And
we were trying to capture that, you know. So Geordie, he was just able to. He's a brilliant engineer, you know. So he was able to sort of set up and create a feeling that was very live, but then also quite produced at the same time. And that's why I wanted to work with him so badly, because I think, you know, he's able to do that really easily as a producer. And it's an outside perspective. You know, I produce things for other people as well, but it's sometimes hard to do that when you're the one delivering the song, you know.
It's hard to take the hat off yourself too, though.
Yeah, it's hard. It took a lot for me to restrain myself and not give my...
This is what you're paying him for. That's what he's here for. Yeah.
Dingo, for people listening, because you said you've done a lot of production work as well. I reckon it's one of the most mysterious jobs in the music industry, exactly what a producer does. So many things. So what in your mind do you think is the producer's job? It's a hard question, I know.
It's a really good question, because I think that it's often in this day and age there's sort of like very blurred lines between what the roles of people are in music. And I think, you know, in the days of record labels and everything, where it used to be a lot more clear cut, it was like the artist is the artist writes the song, the artist performs the song, or there's a songwriter, then the artist performs the song. You got your band, you got your producer who produces the song, and the artist doesn't really give the input. Whereas today, it's like the artist is paying for everything. So the artist is going, no, I want it to be like this, you know, and the producer has to go, well, they're paying me, so I don't really have to, you know. But I don't think it should be like that so much. I think, you know, if you're going to trust a producer to come on board and give what they think they can give to a song, then you should trust them. And I think really, for me, I think that the producer in a room is the person who is basically guiding the ship the whole way. If everything is running as it should, then they're the almost the final say. You know, it's like the head chef kind of thing. It's So that's what I think a producer is these days. It's like you want to get a good team and a good relationship between artist and producer. But at the end of the day, it's the producer that should be saying, well, I think it should be in this direction. Even if that direction changes, you know, it's still kind of the producer's role to do that. Because otherwise, an artist should or could just do it themselves if they're not gonna listen to that, you know.
I know a lot of there's a lot of producers that you know what their records sound like, and that's why you go to them. You know what they do. You know what they're bringing to the table. And like this growing up, I've got a list of guys that I would listen to records, and then you go, "Oh, he did that, did he? Of course he did that." And you go, and as you get older, you just listen to something, and you go, "That's so and so's work, isn't it?" You know, and there's so many people who are extraordinarily talented in that regime, like that world, and they bring to the table a whole bunch of skills that every time you work with a different producer, and I've been in studios around different guys, you just sort of go, wow, he did that. How? And then you take that away and you sort of go, look at what that cat can do, man. It's incredible. They're a very important part of it. But yeah, the Beatles kind of changed that a bit, where the artist got a bit of a say back in the 60s, right? In the 50s before that, but it was all like, you do as you're told and you're very lucky to be here, you know? I love like having a home studio gives you, it's democratized things a bit too.
In what way do you mean?
Well, there's more of a democratic way of, like, people can, if they choose to go out and do a record the way they want to do it on their own, they can, and it can be accepted, right? Some people do great work on their own in isolation. Other people love to work collaborative. Other people need other people to come in and help them, you know? Yeah. And it just means that there used to be gatekeepers in the way that would stop people doing it, right? Yeah. You wouldn't get a release. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And, you know, it does make things more accessible and more possible. It doesn't always end up in pushing a boundary as much as what maybe you would if you were collaborating. And I think that that's the thing that maybe gets lost along the way, is that, you know, if you're comfortable generally in life, I think that, you know, it's not always the best breeding ground for something amazing. You know, just the pushing of the boundary or the is where, you know, the bar is set higher, I think. And there's no, in a studio, I've found there's no better way to do that than to kind of like hold your ideas and let someone else take the reins. So you get very uncomfortable.
But I think not everyone is Prince who can go into a studio and just do everything himself and make it sound brilliant, right?
That's right. And there's some people that are great like that, and they should be doing that. That's what they should be doing, you know. But
but not everybody.
Knowing
Dingo, I find it interesting. Jules has been a great supporter of what we do, and we keep getting a lot of country and fresh country artists coming through. And none of our backgrounds is country music, right? I mean, my dad used to live and listen to country music way back in the day, Slim Dusty and Charlie Pride in the car, and I used to detest it. But I look back on those days fondly now. But so we never really know what we're going to get when Jules puts through an artist. And one of the things that pleasantly surprised me about, especially Autumn, was just it slowed it, like, to me, it slowed me down, right? It slowed me down. There was a lot of space. It was just a well-crafted song. And I fully understand what you talk about with that when you were talking about the formula of songwriting, right? Because often we've talked about there's a cookie cutter out there. Sometimes, you know, when an artist says, I've got a new song coming out, you know it's going to start with a hook, you know it's going to deliver this, and then it's getting into a sing-along anthem type, and then all of a sudden it does this and does that. So really, so tell us a little bit about Autumn and the way that it's come out to me, that spaciousness around it. Is that part of the journey of the song? Did it start like that? And I guess, what is the song about?
Yeah,
long-winded question. Long-winded question, but anyway, we finally got there.
No, that's great. Thank you. I think it's interesting what you say there. The cookie cutter thing. You know, that's great. That can be a really useful thing for a lot of people too. And you know, I've heard some songs that I love that you can tell that it's been written to kind of a formula, but there's also a special aspect to it that you know, if the artist or the songwriter is really connected to what they're doing, then I don't think, you know, you can't really lose if you're connected to what you're doing. But, you know, as far as for me and for this particular song, I do feel like, you know, I was trying to find inspiration from a season, which I think is just, you know, strange. It's the only love song that I wrote for the album, actually. So, you know, I was kind of like, I've written a whole bunch of songs for this record, and they go sort of everywhere. But this is the only one that I wrote that was actually about love. And I was trying to draw some inspiration from Autumn, because I feel like there's so much change and growth through Autumn, and, you know, that image of leaves falling and that being like falling in love, I thought was just a concept that I hadn't sort of played with before. And that's where the song came from. It really did start from a guitar riff though, and a lot of my songs do start like that, where I start writing and the riff sort of like takes it into a place where the song then can kind of come out. So yeah, I like that you said that there's a lot of space around it, because I think that is just through that riff and through the musicality of that creates the space. And then we just tried to accentuate that in the studio, just try to not get in the way of that too much. But yeah, I think as far as songwriting, I'm really proud of this song, because I feel like it for me, and from some feedback that I've heard from other people, is that it kind of gives you an image in your head. And I like that you said that it slows you down, because we actually tried to do that. We did a video for it as well, and we shot it all in slow motion because of that. Oh, you haven't seen? Yeah,
I haven't watched it. I should.
I watched the clip today. There was the autumn's very prevalent in it. The girl and the flower, putting the leaf in her hair and stuff. It was very painterly, I think, is the expression.
See, the reason Curly had trouble is because they don't have autumn in Queensland. It's just
yeah.
summer and winter.
They've got hot and fucking hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I like that. That's good. But I think that's great that you said that it slows you down, because that was exactly where we went with it. I was doing this video with a friend of mine, Corey Hopper, and he directed the video, and we kind of we did one video for a song before called Nightwire as well that I released last year, and we do all of our video meetings while we're playing ping pong. That's just how we do it. I don't know why, but we just kind of want to have fun with our videos, so we thought we should have a meeting while over a ping pong table, and we just came up with this thing. It's like just capturing all of the beauty of autumn, and then just have a little twist at the end where maybe something could happen that's a bit crazy, so that people will be entertained all the way through. So it's just, I guess it's just one of those songs. It's just kind of it just takes you to a place straight away. I hope.
Yeah, it does.
So I was wondering, with the guys who played like the people who played on the record with you played a fair bit of it, obviously. Do you is that an ensemble you'll take out because you're going out on the road with it? Is they some of the guys you'll take out with you as well? And who are those guys?
Yeah, absolutely. So Sid Green, if I'm ever playing with a band, Sid is always my first ask, and is normally with me playing. And then on the bass, Ben Conicella played the bass, and he sung a lot of harmonies on the record as well. And I had Felicity Kircher. Do you know her? So Felicity Kircher was the Star Maker winner last year, 2025. And she toured with us last year on Kasey Chambers' Backbone album tour as well, and she was playing fiddle. So she played fiddle on my record and some guitars and sung harmonies, and she's really amazing too. So I think when I go out on the road with a band, I'll definitely have a lineup that is similar, so that I can capture a lot of the same stuff. But yeah, it's always hard because people's availability and all that as well. You never know. But
yeah, Braggy, I do need to tell you need to watch the video. It's the only music video that ever starts with the dog running towards.
Yeah, that's right,
mate.
That's funny.
Gentle in your stare, wavering for no one. We're almost there. It's midnight on the train, desolate and cold, savoring devotion. We're both growing old, with moonlight on the brain. So don't ask me when it starts. Time don't matter to the heart. Time don't really matter at all. Leaves are carried echoes down the hall. It feels just like autumn when I fall.
Great,
that's funny.
Yeah,
I like your lyrics. Like in autumn, I like how you associate autumn with fall, which is what they call it in the States. I picked up on that one. One of the lyrics I like is in one of the other songs off this new album, which I'm assuming is a new album. The payphone. Did you write the lyrics in that? Because like one of the best hard luck, down on my luck lyrics that I've heard for a while is, I'm out on the rack, flat on my back. I sunk every ball, and then I went in off the black. Like that's a great line, mate. That's an old blues
line. It is. It's the blues man feeling.
But it's very Australian because I know the Yanks play pool as well, but how many times have you done that?
Every time you've gone out for the black and gone, shit.
Yeah,
every time. Yeah, that's
just when
it's
you think
funny.
you're winning.
That song features Jenny Mitchell, who's a really good friend of mine now. We met last year on the Backbone tour as well. She opened up every show, and I felt so lucky because I got to play guitar with her on her set every night as well. So we got to know each other really well. And I asked her to come and sing on this song, and I wanted her to do the song, and I wanted her to do the second verse, but that's my favorite line of the whole song.
It's a great line.
And I was like, oh, can I give it up? Can I give it to someone else?
No, you can't.
And if it wasn't Jenny, I wouldn't. No one else.
You're a gentleman, Dingo. That's what you are.
Yeah.
On that song too, when it first comes on, you sound like Josh Cunningham from the Waifs. The guy
with the guitar.
Josh Cunningham.
Yeah.
Your voice sounds like him too.
That's great.
Just sparked that memory.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love Josh. He's amazing, and I think he really inspires me every time that I see him play guitar. He's one of those guitar players where I go, every time I hear him play, I just feel like that finger style guitar playing that he does, where it's all melody and bass at the same time. It's really amazing, and it blows me away. It's very clinical, and it's almost like that Tommy Emmanuel style of playing melodies, you know.
Yeah.
And what's funny about the payphone is I wrote this directly after I went and saw Tommy Emmanuel play at Bluesfest. I was standing right in the middle, and I was just in awe. I was just like,
he just shits me. It's too good, isn't it?
It's incredible. And that's when I wrote that riff. I went back to the campsite and went, I need to write a finger style riff, and I wrote the payphone.
I'm drenched to the bone, got some change for the payphone. It's short distance call by where I've been for so long. I lost count, but you've gained doubt that I'd ever have the means to find my own way out. If you didn't know that I was missing, then this might not make a difference. I see a light on in the kitchen, and I'll keep knocking till they let me in.
iPhone.
Right.
So I was checking out your dates. Looks like you're going to be working pretty hard when you come out the road on this stuff, right?
You call that hard work?
Oh, no, not really. Yeah, I do. Nowadays it is. When I see people putting 2 shows up and calling it a tour, what you're doing is actually touring, right? You see, like the world has changed. Like when I was a kid, we used to do 40 weeks of the year. I know what that was like. Couldn't do it again. but but like it's hard. Like people don't go out to shows as much. It's a discretionable spend for people. They can't afford to spend the money. They go and do shows. It's really hard to make a living as a working musician these days. It's a challenge. But I know you love to produce. You like playing live. What do you prefer? What do you feel like? When you're doing one, do you want to do the other? And when you're doing that, you want to do the other one? Is that what it's like for you? Or
No. I'm not. I don't feel like I am generally like that. I try to be in what I'm in as much as possible. But I do feel like I love the balance. I do love the balance because if you can get into a studio for too long and then be shut in for too long and then feel like you go a bit stir crazy or something like that, and sometimes being out on the road, it can just be tiring and exhausting, so it's good to have a break from that as well. But I do to me, I think playing live has always been my thing, and where I feel most at home is in a live setting and in front of an audience and with a crowd and trying to create something with other people. That's always been my favorite thing to do.
What about being you're the front guy with your stuff now? Is that
different, isn't it?
Is that more fun than being the support role?
I'm pretty boring, hey, because I just keep answering the same way. It's just good to have a variety. I think one of my favorite things is to be a guitar player in somebody's band, because I feel like you have responsibility and freedom at the same time. You just have, no one's really watching you. Like you've got, especially in the band that I'm in. Like I've got just one of the most amazing singer-songwriters in the world, just right. So no one's looking at me, and so I've got, I've got to get the chords right. But
except all the other guitar players, that's right. They're all sitting there going, "What?"
The other guitar players are standing there going, "Oh, I wouldn't have played it like that."
No.
Well, that's exactly right.
But I think for me now, I also feel like I'm at a point where I want to step up and I want to step forward, and I feel like the songs that I've got coming out now are just some of my favorites that I've ever written, and I love the idea of just bringing more people together. That's really what I want to do, and whether that's through playing in bands with other people or whether that's through my own shows and trying to keep that thing going. I mean, it's like what you said, people find it difficult to come out now, and I understand that, and I can see it. I see that numbers are tricky, but I just want people to enjoy something so much that they want to come out again. That's my goal, is that I want them to walk away from a night and go, that was great. When can we go and do that again? And if we can make people feel like that, then we're doing something right, I guess.
Well, you've got your name on the door with this one, and it's really hard being being the front man, but you have to wear all those other hats. You have to do the social media, you have to do the marketing, you have to do the push, you have to do that sort of stuff. Yeah. Is that one of the challenges you find from not being the guy down the back?
Mate, I'm so bad at it. I think, I just try to enjoy it, honestly, because if you don't enjoy it, then you'll never do it. That's me. If I start to hate it, I'll just never do it. So I just go, all right, let's just have some fun. And I just try to do things that are interesting to me, and hopefully other people find it interesting as well.
I just got a feeling you're just too thoughtful to do social media the way a lot of people do it.
Yeah.
It's no throwaway stuff, I won't be seeing you won't be seeing the memes going, which hat will I wear?
I don't know. I was juggling apples the other day, so I don't know. I'm kind of.
I can see you doing. I can see you doing that actually. Yeah.
We do need to talk a little bit about the tours that you do have coming up. So you're currently on tour with Adam Harvey, the man with the voice, and no doubt that we'll jump into that and understand what that experience is like. But the big one is that you've got Ian Moss and Troy Cassar-Daley. You're touring with them, so that's towards October this year. That looks awesome.
Yeah. So it's a dream come true to be on so many shows this year. I get to open up for, like you said, Adam Harvey on tour with him, and that's incredible. I mean, he's just, we're doing the 25 years of working overtime tour. I mean, that just shows you the longevity of this guy's career, and he's still just singing so amazingly, and yeah, I just can't wait to get into that tour, and and then to be asked to come on to the Ian Moss and Troy Cassar-Daley tour as well. That's amazing. Like, these are all people who I just respect so much and look up to, and Australian music, they've helped shape Australian music. All Absolutely. Of them have helped shape Australian music, and I think I'm just lucky. I'm just lucky that I get to be part of the shows, and also I get free tickets to the shows after, so that's great.
It's funny how the harder you work, mate, the luckier you get.
Well, yeah, I guess. I mean, it is hard work in some ways. I put a lot of time and effort into what I do, but the key is that it doesn't feel too much like work.
Nah, that's fun.
The majority of the time, it is. It's pretty rewarding to do what we do, and then share it with people. And I guess I guess at the end of the day, I'm just hoping that Mossy doesn't realize that I've stolen all of his licks, and then everything goes horrible.
Man, what a player! What a player!
What a singer as well.
Yeah, man. In any other band, he'd be the lead singer. He's a great soul singer, isn't he? Like, I saw him a couple of years ago at a work function, and he was just like, you're just watching this guy play, and you just could not believe how effortless it is for him.
Yeah, it really is.
Dingo, you talked about being lucky. Some people aren't quite as lucky. Tell us about your work with our Rainbow House, the school thing in Zambia.
Yeah. Thanks for asking. That's amazing. I've been involved with our Rainbow House. So they're in Zambia in Africa. I've been involved for about 7 or 8 years, I think, now. And I got involved through Kasey. She kind of met the people that run it, because it's run out of Emerald, Queensland. And there's some amazing people that work to keep this school going. And we go over there, I don't know, as many times as we can, and a couple of years ago, we actually took a makeshift recording studio over there, and we wrote a bunch of songs with the kids, and then recorded an EP, and then brought it back to Australia and sold it as a part of their fundraiser to raise more money for the school. And so we do kind of things like that, and we teach music over there, and just basically hang out with the kids and get to know everyone. I've had a sponsor. Well, I say sponsored child, but he's over 18 now. I've seen him. He's gone through primary school, high school, and now he's in university, and just doing so well. It's amazing because you get to actually go over and see this firsthand. And I think the work that they do at our Rainbow House, it's life-changing, not only for the students at the school, but for all of the families connected to them. They're really making a big difference.
Wow, that's so cool.
It is. It's always good to see people giving back, and one of the things I'm very thankful for today is that I was doing some research around yourself, Dingo, and of course being the long-term guitarist for Kasey, and I was exploring some of the stuff that's out there on YouTube, and I stumbled across Kasey Chambers and her version of "Is It Lose Yourself" by Eminem.
Yeah.
And, just powerful. It was just really emotional. And then I went and saw another video of the same thing where they've got the, those reaction videos.
Yeah.
And it was just such a joy to see these, and I'm presuming they're all Americans who hadn't heard of Kasey all that much, just to see the reaction of that particular song. So I thought, wow, how good is that? And I was telling our country music correspondent, we do have a fourth that we throw into the show every now and again. Big Stew he's called. I just need to do a big shout out to him because he tore his bicep off his bone there on the weekend. He had his op today to put it back on.
Big Stew's proper country.
Yeah, he's a little bit disappointed that he wasn't able to come on tonight, to be honest, because of the legacy that you have within the industry, Dingo, and the bands that you played with. But Big Stu, get well, and I hope that surgery all works and you're back holding people up like you normally do. So, all right. The other thing, the last thing that I've got to mention before we start winding it down is that you're playing at the Denny Youth Muster. These country festivals just seem to get bigger and bigger every year, and it's being played on the 2nd and 3rd of October. Tickets are on sale, I think, via the DennyUteMuster.com.au website. But looking at the audience list, like, I'm not even going to mention the headliners because they're huge. But when you look at it, Braggy, we will know these names. Tory Dark's playing. Dingo's playing. We've got Laura Frank that's there. We've got Taylor Sheridan that's there. All people that have been on our show, and it's such a joy to see those people in a festival line up like the Denny Ute Muster. So you excited for that one, Dingo?
Oh yeah, I'm over the moon. I can't wait. It's one of those festivals. I just think if people haven't been, they got to get there. It's like a bucket list festival. I think it's such a good mix between sort of this family friendly kind of vibe, and then it turns into a big party in the night, and the main stage goes off. And I actually last year I was there because I was playing with Kasey, and we were there. We travel around in our caravan now, like because she's my partner now, and we travel around like that, and that's how we do all of our touring. And we were pulled up in the caravan at Denny Ute Muster, and someone pulled out of a gig because they had an injury, they couldn't play. So I got a knock on the door, and they said, "Hey, Dingo, do you want to come and do a set?" And I went, "Yeah, all right, yeah, I'll go do a set." And so I ended up playing last year, and then I guess they liked it because they asked me to come back, and now I'm just so stoked to be a part of this lineup. Like it's amazing. It looks incredible, and I just think it's going to be a really good year. So I would definitely encourage people to come out to that one.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
From what I've seen, it scares me, frankly.
It scares you.
You're such a Sydney boy, Rossi.
Yeah. You don't have a ute?
No.
You don't need a ute.
I can't do burnouts.
Yeah, no, you don't. They'll teach you how to do burnouts. You go to the gate, they'll teach you how to do it. Yeah.
That's so Australian. I love it.
Oh, it is. It's awesome. Dingo, what's the best? Where can people best connect with you?
So I've got a website, www.dingomusicofficial.com, and I'm also on Instagram. I'm on Facebook as well, but mainly Instagram is probably the best platform to keep up to date with everything that I'm sort of doing, and my website as well. Both Dingo Music Official.
Awesome. I do have to ask, why Dingo?
Why not? No, so
that's cagey.
Yeah, I was kind of I was looking for a way to separate my music from personal a little bit, at one stage a few years back where I was going, I just want a fresh start. And I almost kind of started a band, and just, basically under the name Dingo, and then that just turned into me writing songs and then wanting to produce songs, and then kind of like falling into this thing of like becoming Dingo, and my mates started calling me Dingo, and then I don't know, I just was like, yeah, okay, let's just go with Dingo. And I've just got this real connection. Like I said, we travel so much for tour, and we're always in the outback. I've got this deep connection with the outback, and we've done like 5 or 6 trips across the Nullarbor just in the last couple of years, and
man,
it's just like, I'm so connected to it, and I just think it really works. Plus, I'm obsessed with dogs. I've kind of that dog that's charging at you in the start of the video in Autumn.
Buddy.
That's my dog Buddy, and he's inspired me to start a whole range of merchandise just for him, where I sell Dingo dog collars, and then I do matching Dingo dog collar bracelets for the owner so they can match their dog.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
He's an ideas man. Merch, great.
You should, when you're doing your next talk about the video where you're playing ping pong, you should actually make a video playing ping pong.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
No worries. It's yours.
No worries. No worries. That'll be 10%.
Thanks to Braggy. Just put that in the bomb.
Shout out to Braggy. There you go.
Yeah, shout out to the
good
boys.
to talk.
Right.
Yeah, Dingo, it's been great having you on the show. And as always, your music will go into our every damn song playlist. It's available on Spotify, Apple, Amazon, and YouTube Music. It's been a joy once again just having that chat. But for all our listeners, if you've loved what you heard, hit follow, share the show, dig deeper into those Spotify and Apple Music playlists that I just talked about. As always, we are more artists, more stories, more reasons to listen. This is Unfiltered and Undiscovered, and we will see you all again next week. Thanks again, Dingo. It's been awesome.
Thanks, guys.
Well, that's a wrap for this episode of the Unfiltered and Undiscovered podcast. If you've liked what you've heard, please do us a favor. Hit follow, leave a rating, and share it with a mate who needs some new music and a little bit of laughter in their lives. We're all about discovering the songs that actually mean something. So if you're into raw talent, great stories, and music that hits you right in the guts, you're in the right place, and we'd love to see you back again next week. Don't forget our Spotify playlists. Every damn song, every track we've ever talked about, rising female country artists, and undiscovered covers. And just now, they're not just available on Spotify. You'll also find them on YouTube Music and Apple Music as well. Now, we will be back next week with more music, more stories, and probably some more arguments. But that's what keeps us unfiltered. We'll see you next week.